Opening statement today. I'm too tired, so go ahead, ask questions. Jerry, good to see you.
Good to see you, Keith. How are you?
It's been a while.
Keith, what did you say to them in the locker room after the first half that just, caused them to come out guns a-blazing?
So this year, for the most part, I go to the bathroom and then Drew cusses them out, and then I come in calm. So we just told them, look, either you're going to guard and share the ball or you're not going to play. That's all.
Keith, there were 1,130 victories and 58 seasons out there tonight. What's it like competing against a guy like Fran Dunphy, when you have the same type of experience he has? What did you say at the end of the game?
Have you ever talked to him?
No, yeah.
He's probably the best human being. He's a better human being than he is a coach, which tells you how good a person he is. And then on top of it, Joe Mahalick's on his staff, who was the head coach of Niagara, and Hofstra, who had a stroke. And they were teammates together at LaSalle, so he hired Joe. So those are two of the best people in the coaching profession. So when you play against them, you just have so much respect for him, because you look at his record over all the years, which I looked at it today because I'm kind of a statistical guy, but I mean he's just an unbelievable coach. He's done a great job there. They were playing great coming into this game. Just a good coach. He's got a great temperament, smart, caring. You just can't get a better person.
Can you adjust your coaching style a little bit when you're going up against a guy with that kind of experience?
Not really. Just try to do my job every single day. Just try to figure out ways for us to win. It's pretty simplistic. Like, everybody thinks, oh, we made all these adjustments and this and that and the other. Look, we have to defend and we have to share the ball. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's simple. When we've defended, we've won, and when we get assists, we win. And when we don't defend and we don't get assists, we lose.
Coach, Brantley and Brickus had 9 assists in the first half combined, their season average, and in the first 14, 15 minutes of the second half, neither of them had an assist at all. What were the specific adjustments you guys made that sort of turned the offense off for them?
Well, they had 13 assists the first half, right, I think. And, well, first off, you have to give Day Grant his due. We put him on Brickus to start the second half, and I thought he did a really good job on him. Because we had Kareem in the game, we decided to go with Kareem to start the second half, and we knew they were going to post up. Brickus is a really good post-up player, even though he's only 5'11". So we tried to keep Kareem off of him as much as we could, but Day did a really good job on him. We just played better defensively. We tried harder. If you care about winning, you're going to defend on every possession, and if you slip in that area, you're not going to win, and you're not going to care about winning. So really very few adjustments. We just played the way we always play.
What do you say about Duson's recovery from his knee injury and how he's been playing lately?
He played well tonight. I thought everybody will look and see he scored 13 points or whatever, but I thought he was much better defensively. That's a serious injury that happened twice. So, it's amazing that he was able to come back. It's a testament to his work ethic, his ability to overcome pain, and you can see he's moving better, and he scores. He's got good touch. What's ironic is he hasn't rebounded the ball at a high level yet, and that's really what his whole career has been built on. So that tells you he's not completely all the way back yet, but he's getting better.
You guys gave up 11 fast breaks in the game, but other than that, if there was any, what other negatives did you see come out of this game, out of this win?
I didn't like the way we started. I thought we played a below-average first half. We were lucky it was only 3 points. I didn't like the way we practiced today, which sometimes means nothing, but to me it matters. And really, I think Jakob and Matusz Horonsky really helped us in the sense that I think they knew I wasn't going to mess around. So I think sometimes, understanding that I'm not going to mess around helps them. And Coach Drew's really good at that. He's always yanking my chain saying, hey. So I'll blame him for people being mad at me.
Were you playing your... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Jared, please use the mic when you ask a question.
Sorry.
Jerry. Hey, you've been doing this long enough, right?
You're right.
It's two old timers butting heads here, man. I'm gonna have to be the referee.
I'm going to order that in. Go ahead, Zach.
Keith, Jimmy had 8 assists against 1 turnover, and he really had a good connection, especially with Duquesne today. Just how, with the game coming to him, does that just make him even more of a weapon, just seeing the court better that way?
So Jimmy's whole thing, and it's consistent, is his discipline on both ends of the court. So what makes him really good is that fearless, I'm going to throw this pass, I'm going to throw that pass, I'm going to go for this steal, I'm going to go for that steal, but it crushes him at times. So I hit him really hard, just about, doing better, just being more sound, because he's got a load of ability. And my biggest thing is when he leaves here is I don't want him to not, not become what he should become. Day too, same thing. Like, you can be hard on guys for specific reasons because you really want them to get what they deserve out of this thing. Sometimes it may not be taken like that, but that's really my goals and objectives, is for us to win games and for them to get what they deserve when they're done. But Jimmy had a good game. Not very good defensively to start the game, and that's why I hooked him. Look, if you believe somebody should be this and they're only playing here, then it's your obligation to make them try to play at that level, or you're really cheating them.
I got one more.
Wow, he conformed quickly.
Are you playing your best basketball at the right time?
I don't know. We didn't play very good the second half at Fordham. But we've played overall over the last, 10, 11 games, we've been pretty competitive. We still have issues that we have to deal with, like when new things occur on the court that we haven't seen a lot of. Sometimes we have issues. We're certainly capable. It's just a matter of, making sure that we have fun over the next 2-3 weeks. That's number one. We played tag on Monday. Drew said they played in Europe all the time as a warm-up. So we played 2 different types of tag, and grown men were laughing. You would think it would be like first and second grade, but Drew said 30-year-olds in Europe laugh when they play. So we're just trying to freshen them up, at the same time keep our toughness level.
Did you play with them?
No, I can't even move. Are you kidding me, Jerry? I'm just surviving, man. This is March.
Coach, we're in the last couple weeks of the season, which means we're getting around to celebrating senior days. Do you think the transfer portal hasn't had an impact on how people view senior days, and just overall, what are your thoughts with how it's impacted it?
It's an interesting question. I mean, it should be like 1 year days now, right, instead of senior day. I mean, the whole game's changed. Some of it's good. Like, there's some good transfers, but some of it's bad. So it's hard on the fan base because guys are in and out and leaving, and they don't get to know anybody. But ultimately, the fan base only cares about one thing when you really think about it, right? And that's the big W at the end of the day, the wins and losses. So but in the old days, it was guy was there for 4 years. They got to know everybody. There's a lot to be said for that you don't see anymore on both ends, fans and players. You don't build that relationships that you have, over time because you're not there very long. So, I mean, I don't love it. But again, I'm a realist and I know it's here for good. So
Does that make it even more like exciting when a fan base does kind of attach to a player that hasn't been here that long? Like think Day Day and Jimmy, who've only been here 2 years.
yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I think that's one good thing about the Duquesne fans is there's a lot of people that have been fans for a long time through good, bad, and ugly, right? Not very much NCAA good, you know, but there's still people that, you know, talk about Willie Somerset and, you know, and Jared Durham and all those guys, you know, so we have good fans, you know, and I think it becomes important that they get to know. So it's the longer the guys are here, the 1 year guys are hard because they're not here very long. But our fans have been good as far as embracing them.
I'm curious on your perspective based on the news this week that UMass is going to the MAC in a couple of years. As someone who spent over a decade in the MAC yourself and now in the A10, what's been the biggest difference adjustment-wise that you've made coming into A10? And what are your thoughts on what UMass is going to have to do when they go to the MAC in a couple of years?
It's a great question because when I was in the MAC, we played Coach Dunphy when they were at Temple because they were in as a football member, and they had to play 4 games a year in the MAC. And then we didn't play UMass, but UMass had the same deal. And ultimately, the MAC told them, look, if you want to stay in football, you got to join. And so what happens with these schools like, you know, Temple and UMass is, you know, they have to make a decision. Are they gonna stay in the A10 and be independent in football, or are they gonna go football? And so it's an interesting question because and again, I got to be careful. They're going to be mad at me when I say this, but I always tell the truth. This is not one of the best years in the MAC. So the MAC, when I was in it, was 13th, you know, sometimes a little higher, sometimes a little less. I think they're 24th, right? So it's one of the worst years ever in the MAC. So there's 2 ways to look at it. There's not many at-large bids for any of the mid-majors anymore, including us. So can they go into the MAC and dominate it and get an easier at-large there than they can in ours? I mean, an easier ticket to the NCAA tournament than they can in the A10. And then how much does it affect their recruiting Northeast guys to play in a Midwest league? So it's kind of like the same thing Robert Morris went through. Again, I'm sticking my nose into everybody else's business, but do you stay in the NEC and try to dominate the NEC and get in the tournament, or do you change leagues? And I believe that was probably football-driven as well. So everything nowadays is football-driven. It's a little hard to understand because it's MAC football, which if you ask – so I've had conversations with guys like Jim Tressel, you know, who was the president of Youngstown State and obviously the coach of Ohio State. And we've had conversations about MAC football and what, you know, whether it's worth it, whether they should be 1AA, et cetera. But it seems like everybody wants to play football. So it's a long-winded answer, but it's a perplexing with UMass's history in basketball, it's a little perplexing that they're going to put all their eggs into football, really. But again, it's not my issue; that's their issue. But I'm an opinionated guy, so. You agree?
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. With less than a handful of games left in A10 play, what's the mindset going to be in the fight to get a higher seed in the A10 tournament?
Well, it doesn't look like we can get the double bye. And then everybody else is the damn same, so what's the difference? You know, like whether you're 7th or 9th or whatever, like who's the best team in the league? I guess Dayton, right? I don't know. Or is it Loyola until last night? Loyola played an unbelievable game against George Mason and then got punked last night, right? So, like, I don't know who's better for us. Is it better we play George Mason, or is it better we play St. Joe's, or is it better we play St. Bonaventure? I mean, Fordham was rough on us because of the things they did. So I don't see much difference between any of them. LaSalle, Davidson, you know, they all present different issues. I like somebody that's just kind of like conventional. I'm not great. I don't really like playing the unconventional. So we just have to play good basketball. It really doesn't matter who we play. We just have to be ready to play good. And I watched the game from last year, the tournament game, and we stunk. We were awful, like just bad, you know. So we just have to play better than that. What else, Zach? You got something else for me?
One and done, Keith.
What's that?
One and done, Keith.
One and done. What is one and done? One question and done? I thought you meant our A10 tournament. God, that's so disrespectful. I'm just kidding. You're the best. I always give Zach a hard time, but I love Zach. Just for the record. That's all right, for the record. Because I'm tired of my daughter and my wife yelling at me because I give you a hard time. My son doesn't care, though, to be honest with you. Because he's more like me. Anyway, sometimes you give the people you like the most the hardest time. And you're an easy target, too, on top of it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.